guys, so we're going to bale hay. Yep. It's snowy out. Salt on the roads. I'm supposed to bale that too. I'm going to have to get a hold of the guy that actually has it. He mowed it for me. I might get that on the way home. I know there's quite a bit to do. He's running a Kuhn mower, and he seems to like it. I don't know how good they are. I know that the cutter bars, the Kuhn cutter bars, the last Kuhn that I ran, I felt that the cutter bar was entirely too thin and the blades were too flimsy, and if you hit a rock or something, they would bend and gouge into the cutter bar. And that's really one of the reasons why I kind of stay away from Kuhn cutter bars or Kuhn baler or mowers. That's really the only reason. I know years ago New Holland ran Kuhn cutter bars. I think everybody ran Kuhn cutter bars at one point or another, and Kuhn kind of fell behind. And I don't know if they're caught up yet or not, but I know they pretty much fell behind in their designs. I know in 2008 when I was running that Kuhn triple mower on a 7930 John Deere, that was before YouTube, by the way. Really cool tractor, really cool deal. Great. The mower worked okay. The tractor didn't have enough horsepower, and for mulch hay, that mower up front, it would just cake the radiator with stuff, and it would overheat. But he seems to like the Kuhn cutter bar or the Kuhn mower, so I'm pretty sure they've caught up now. I personally, if I'm going to buy a new Hydra swing to replace the Gale, I would go with the Krone, because the Krone has a system that works really well for rocks, shock hub system. If you hit something, it's on a ramp and it'll just ramp right out of the way. The turtle doesn't collide with itself. And look at this coming, a 1970, let's see, is it a 78? It is a 1979. It's got the square headlights in her. Yeah, Ford pickup truck. We had a 78 and a 79. The 78 had round headlights, the 79 had squares.
That was a good looking truck.
Yeah, 1979, I was just videotaping it. Anyway, yeah, so anyways, I'll just shut up and get on with my deal here. I'll meet you. So I've got an embarrassing confession to make. Kind of, sort of. Now, this past spring, I didn't make fun of another farmer, but I did ride his ass a little bit hard about leaving bales out in the field to rot. He does it every year, but last year I baled a farm and pretty much forgot that they were there. And then Carl reminded me that they were there, and I was like, oh yeah. But I was in the middle of working on 4010 tractor and other things like that. And by the time I got over here to get the bales, they were too far gone to actually use. So with all the wet weather that we've had, they have melted down to that. And yes, I'm baling new bales after that, you know, but I left a mess. I will clean it up, and you know, some people are gonna probably wonder, what are you gonna do with that? But what I'm gonna do, and I pretty much figured out what I'm gonna do to get them out of here, is I'm actually just gonna cut the strings off of them, take the strings away, and then I'm gonna take the 8120 or even the 7410. I'm just gonna smear them out a little bit, not too far, but just, you know, maybe a 50-foot length. And this spring, when the rains come and I put fertilizer on this property, the grass is just gonna grow right up through it. And by the time it's time to make the hay again, it'll be rotted up enough that I can just mow right through it with the mowers, and that'll be okay. But you know, I try to show everybody, you know, my wins and my losses and my foul ups and my successes, and I could tell you the amount of money that I lost here by leaving bales out here to rot was a staggering number. I'm not going to give you the total, but I will tell you it was more than $10,000 worth of hay that I left out here to rot, because I just simply forgot that they were here. That does happen from time to time, but never on this large of a scale. Ran into troubles with other equipment, obviously. Then just plain, Carl tried to get me to get over here and get them, and I told him, I came over and looked at them, and they were solid enough at that point. You know, and I did have some other issues going on over there at the farm, and by the time, like I said, by the time I got here, I still sold, I think 3 or 4 semi loads of them went, and then the rest of them got pushed down over the bank. So in total, I probably lost $20,000 worth of hay due to wet weather, and this was just absolute neglect. But we're not in a total loss here. I mean, I'm making this.
I've never seen colors like that come out of the sky.
Okay, so yeah, do you hear Joe on the radio, the CB radio? And he's correct. Those colors are pretty intense. So Chemtrail City, right over there. We love chemtrails. They make pretty sky. And yeah. So anyways, what I was saying is we're just going to get them smeared out so that they can rot up enough that I can just blast through them with the mowers when it's time to mow again. And I just move them about 50 feet, you know, spread them out about 50 feet. And I guarantee you by that time spring hits, or by the time it's time to make hay again, they're all just rotted up and ready to, you know, back to earth. You know, that's just what that's going to be. So, yeah, but this is definitely wintertime haymaking. Wow, that is, he's right. Wintertime haymaking, that is ice on the water. At home, there's about 2 inches of snow, so we ended up coming east by about 30 miles to this farm so I could get it off. I've baled almost 100 bales, 91. I'm at 91 bales so far today on this farm, and yeah, and the material isn't that bad. I'm really quite impressed with the way it looks. It's dry enough to go right into the bale and right down to the composter, and it's actually pretty decent stuff. I was afraid there was a lot of weeds in it, which there were some in certain spots, but for the most part, it wasn't bad at all. And the good part about it for me was that I didn't put any fertilizer on this farm because I had intentions of getting the rotting bales off, and I just didn't have time to get over here to do it. And I ran out of time to come over and put fertilizer down. So I kind of saved myself money there, because what's happening, or what I'm noticing, is the hay that is fertilized, that I put the nitrogen on. Here comes Joe. The hay that I got nitrogen on is actually yielding less than the farms that didn't have any fertilizer on them. I picked up a couple of pieces that were not fertilized by anybody, and you know, the property owner's like, hey, can you come get this off of here? And they weren't fertilized, and that stuff, it's beautiful. It's standing tall, and it's able to cut it and bale it, and it looks pretty good. But the stuff that I actually spent $75 an acre on, or yeah, $75 an acre in fertilizer on, well, that stuff, I'm getting about half of what I'm getting on here, to be honest with you. There was a couple of places that were, you know, pretty decent, but anyway. So I guess that's the end of this video for today. You know, there it is, my failure, and it's my fault. I take responsibility for it all. I know that, you know, it's a mistake that happens from time to time. I've been doing this for 20 years, and really only the second time that this has happened to me. Never on this large of a scale, but I have had hay get really pretty far gone out in the field, and I was able to smuggle it in. I say smuggle it in, but the composting industry has changed to the point where you don't smuggle anything in anymore. You either have to have good quality material, or you're not going to be selling to them. And you know, I thought I was going to be in some major trouble with a lot of this ground because of this late season baling, but you know what? I think it's actually beautiful. The type of material that it is, and the way that it's baling up and making nice, tight, square, beautiful bales, even though it is like 12 degrees outside. And it is, it's like 12 degrees outside. It's amazing. But anyways, yeah, with that being said, I'm playing obstacles. Joe says this is like being in a cemetery, and those are the gravestones. There's the fresh bale there, and there's the rotter right there. So, I don't know, that just prompts me to do a better job next year, that's all. It just does. Makes you realize how silly you were the year before, and this was 2017 hay, obviously. 2018 I put on 26 tarps so that I didn't have any rotten hay, and I actually got complimented from the one composter saying that he said thank you for supplying us a beautiful crop, and that was because I tarped it. And that makes my heart feel good, because you know what, I have sent shit in the past, and I wanted to, the competition in this business is getting pretty stringent. I mean, it's getting pretty tough, and they're rejecting loads from guys that have been in the business even longer than me because they don't want to tarp. And there's guys out there that never tarped and refuse to tarp, and they're losing their market for it. They'll go bankrupt. And to be honest with you, that's okay with me, because if you're going to go bankrupt and you're close to me, cool, I'll take your ground. That's all. It's fine. I like that too. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you next time.